Remember me? From over there, from before.
So, the Switch 2. Aesthetically, I was skeptical at first, but I think it looks really, really good. I really like the way that it looks, just physically. I think the darker Joy-Cons are nice. I like the way that the whole body kind of really fits together now. We've not had that on a Switch before, really. I mean, there was this Mario Red one, but I never liked the way it looked. It looked cheap, the way that the bezels were still black, but the rest of the body of the console was red. Didn't like it. But this is just like a full single color Switch, with the exception of the little accent colors, which I also really, really like. I think that's a nice touch. I think it adds a lot to it. It adds character, it adds charm. And the video is really well put together, the animations are really nice, the sound design is on point. But here's my thing with it. We already know all this. All of this info has been out there for a while now in some way, shape or form, and so the video just has this kind of, I don't know, this weird energy to it. One of the top comments on the video points out that it's got this real, like, get off my back vibe to it. But I don't know if mine and a lot of other people's sort of mixed feelings on this video are because of the leaks, because that's so easy to point at and say, well, yeah, this should have been a surprise announcement, but you looked at the leaks, so of course none of it was a surprise. But I think it's more than that, truly. Because the original Switch was leaked to death when it was codenamed the NX. There was things about it everywhere, and we knew what it was. We had a really good idea on what it was going to look like. Not to the level that we have done with the Switch 2, but it was pretty locked in for a while. But that trailer still felt like an absolutely huge deal, and I think I've pinpointed why. Not only did it show off a bunch of snippets of games, including Skyrim, like I mentioned before, and stuff like a new 3D Mario, which we had no idea was coming, and wasn't a given, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at this, he's in Mexico? What's that about? But I think another huge part of it is that we actually saw that original Switch in action in that first trailer. And I get why they do that then and not so much now, because back then they had to sell people on the concept of the Switch. And now people know what the Switch is, you don't have to show people going out and using it. But I think what that caused back in the day with that first trailer was, despite it leaking, despite us having a pretty good grip on what it was going to be, this was the first time that we actually properly saw it. Whereas with this, it's just renders. It still doesn't feel real, it doesn't feel tangible, and I think just from an advertising perspective, that is a mistake. And look, not everything in that original Switch video was a perfect example. There's a lot of dumb stuff in that video, like this bit, where there's a rooftop party going on, and for some reason some psycho has brought their Switch to play 1-2 Switch. Can you imagine if you were on a party, on a rooftop, and someone was like, oh hey, no, sorry, can you turn the music off? Yeah, just turn the music off real quick, I'm trying to feel how many balls are in my hand. Can you turn it just off or that? I'm trying to feel these balls in my hand. There's also this great bit that I think about all the time, where these basketballers are playing basketball, and then they all stop playing basketball to sit like 6 foot away and play basketball on the Switch. Which that's never happened. No one's ever done that, or the rooftop thing, or any of this, really. The guy is walking his dog playing Zelda. But that's not the point. It makes you go, here's what you could do with this thing. And at the time, that idea was play these home console games on the go. But we've been doing that for 7 years now. So I don't think you can just go, here's a home console Mario Kart that you can play on the go, because again, we've had that for 7 years. I think you have to go, here is a Mario Kart, the likes of which we haven't seen before. The fidelity of it, the quality of it is better than what you could have possibly put on the Switch. You've really got to show us, look, you may have a Switch already, but you're going to need this one because look at what it can do. And I know that we'll get that in April because I'm sure the power of it is there. Leaks have shown and suggested that this is powerful. It's like 4 times more powerful than the original Switch. So show us that. I just don't know why you'd hold off on it. It seems like a weird choice to me. So what do they need to show in that presentation? And I think they need to show a really visually impressive launch title, whether that is this Mario Kart that ends up actually being a visual spectacle, which it very well could be. People have said, who've seen it, that it is. I think very likely as a new 3D Mario. I don't know if it will be a launch title. That might come a few months down the line, because I think they're probably going to want to launch it with Mario Kart, but I think that 3D Mario should look really, really good, and I think probably will. And then we've got to see just a stack of other releases throughout the year. I think software has never been this important. Nintendo's big selling point has always been their exclusives and their software, and I think that is true now more than ever. Because if not, all the Switch 2 really becomes is, hey, the first Switch has dropped in price. You want to play games on the go? You got it all on that. I also think it needs some absolutely killer third-party support. I've heard people say that Red Dead 2 is going to be on there. If so, great. I know that's like a 7 or 8 year old game at this point, but that is what I'm talking about, of showing like even the Steam Deck struggles with Red Dead 2. So that is a great thing to show, like, hey, look, this has got power. We can do it, baby. And in an ideal world, I think it needs to be under $400. I have no way of knowing if that's realistic or if it will be the case. That's just how I feel about it. I think it needs to be around that point. But I think there is a risk here of this possibly, maybe I'm being far too pessimistic, but I think there's a chance this could be a flop. And if that happens, good. I don't care, because I'm going to get one anyway. If no one buys them, the price will go down, and then I can get more. I can get 2 of them, and I can make them kiss. So yeah, that's all that I've got for you. I've really managed to drag a lot out of that pretty short and honestly kind of underwhelming video, but I am looking forward to the Switch 2, and I'm keen to hear whether you are too. Hey, so thank you very much for checking out this video. I've been Niall Edwards for the Seoul Dojo. If you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, join our Discord server, follow the socials. All of it really, really helps out. We appreciate your support. We literally could not keep any of this going without you. And hey, especially stick around if you're keen for the Switch 2, because we will be covering every element of that as it develops, because I think we're all real excited for it. I know I am, mostly. So yeah, thank you for checking this out. Take care of yourself. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.